When I first realized that I had hyperpigmentation many years ago, it was kind of an interesting revelation because prior to that, I had freckles and stuff because that is my skin type. I just have a little bit of freckling, things like that. But what I started to notice was almost like a staining on my skin, like an irregular look to my skin where I looked more tan than I actually am. So today I want to share with you some ingredients that you can look for in your skincare if you are noticing a general dullness to your skin, if you're noticing more of a pigmentation issue where it's like your skin in general looks irregular, not specific spots or patches, but almost like your skin looks dirty. That's how my skin looked. It almost looked dirty. The good news is these ingredients will help to clear the age spots, sunspots. It will help with melasma, but it will also help with that kind of overall dullness that we can get that is hyperpigmentation. I'm gonna share some product recommendations with you, but I really wanna give you the tools so that you know when you're shopping for skincare, the ingredients that you need to see in an ingredient deck in order to tackle this issue. Number one is going to be Arbutin. Arbutin is from plants and it is a pigment inhibitor. You guys have heard me talk about this on this channel a lot. It is one of those ingredients that's so fantastic to see in our skincare if we have hyperpigmentation, if we have sunspots, if we have acne marks left over that are purpley, brown, red. Arbutin will help with that. Arbutin is going to help with that general dullness to the skin too. Like I said, Arbutin is from a plant, and its older sister, if you will, is hydroquinone. Now, hydroquinone is something that in the United States you have to get on from a prescription. So if you want to work with a dermatologist, there are some online places now that will prescribe hydroquinone, but it is something that needs to be managed by a medical professional. I will say that 4% hydroquinone and higher is definitely going to deliver results faster than any over-the-counter pigment inhibitor will, but it's also a little bit more irritating. You have to cycle on and off. You do have to go through a medical professional who needs to manage it for you because it is a prescription, but you need to know that that ingredient is something that exists so that if you have chronic hyperpigmentation that you have not been able to tackle, you can at least talk to somebody and know what to ask for or ask if it will work for you or is recommended for you. So Arbutin, hydroquinone. Third ingredient that you can look for is going to be tranexamic acid. Tranexamic acid was originally used in surgeries, it still is, and it's a coagulant. So it actually tackles the problem from a different avenue, and it's going to help with inflammation, and it's really good for melasma. So tranexamic acid is another ingredient that is absolutely fantastic to see in your skincare if you are battling hyperpigmentation of any kind. Kojic acid. Kojic acid comes from fungi. Again, this is an ingredient that's going to tackle the problem from a different avenue. So what's really important to know as well is that you've got all these different ingredients. Most of them tackle the problem slightly differently from a different angle. Anytime you can get a cocktail of several of them together, you're gonna have better opportunity at tackling the problem because you are coming at it from different angles. It's still a good thing to have a product with just Arbutin. That's better than nothing. But if you can cocktail up some of these ingredients together, you just have a better shot of clearing your hyperpigmentation and brightening your skin. Another ingredient you can look for is niacinamide. Niacinamide is vitamin B3. Again, it tackles the problem from a completely different angle, and it also is going to help you with your barrier function. It is going to help, like I said, with brightening your skin. It's going to help with ceramide production. Niacinamide can be used in really low percentages, like 2%, 3%, can really help to brighten the skin. It's a fantastic ingredient, and it goes together with all these other ingredients we were just talking about really well. Now, there are tons of other brightening ingredients on the market that don't get as much, they don't get talked about as much, and maybe they aren't studied as much, but I think that there are lots and lots of options that can be helpful as long as they're in a cocktail with some of those more studied ingredients. Okay, so some recommendations. First of all, this is one that is sort of new to me. I've talked about this for a few months now, the Hyalogy line from Forlle'd. This is a Japanese brand. I have now tried 3 of their essences. This one is called Platinum Lotion. Now, this one contains Arbutin, which is fantastic to see, but it also contains some brightening ingredients that I had never heard of. I had to look up up, and I'm really kind of excited about, because even though I've never heard of them, I know that brightening ingredients typically will work on different angles, and I'm all in on anything that is going to help to suppress excess melanin. I'm willing to give it a shot in an over-the-counter product. The cool thing about these essences is I like essences anyway. So if an essence contains some pigment inhibitors in it, in addition to hydrators and other nourishing ingredients, to me, it's just a bonus. There are other essences on the market that contain arbutin. Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure Hyalogy has a whole arbutin line. So just consider looking for essences that contain pigment inhibitors, because it's a great way, in an additional step in your routine, if you like to have an essence, to get some pigment inhibitors on board. So this one is the Hyalogy Platinum Lotion, but again, there are some more affordable options, and I will try and look them up and list them down below, so that if this is out of your price range or you just don't want to do that, that you have some options at both ends of the spectrum. Next is going to be this one from Tosowoong. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but this is Arbutin 7% plus tranexamic acid 4%. Now, this one is under 20 bucks, at least when I bought it, it was under 20 bucks. It comes in a cream, and it's kind of a cream gel. And honestly, it's really, really beautiful. Now, it has that 7% arbutin, which is actually really, really great. And I have to tell you that Obagi actually has their Clear FX lotion, and it is arbutin at 7%. So this one is a Korean product, and I was really, really excited to see arbutin that high of a percentage. Now, that 4% tranexamic acid is also pretty good. I mean, that's an excellent percentage of TA. So you're getting those two together. Because it is 7% arbutin, I feel really good about this one. I think that this is a fantastic recommendation. And if you are somebody who is on a budget, if you are in prevention mode, you're seeing the very first signs of hyperpigmentation, this might be a really great one for you. I would say that if you have really chronic, stubborn hyperpigmentation, this one might be something that you want to combine along with another cocktail of pigment inhibitors. It may not be enough, but it's definitely a layering option that at 7% arbutin is an excellent one. So I wanted you guys to know about this, especially if you also have post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation like acne scarring. This might really help you at 7% arbutin. So I will list this down below, but it is Tosowoong, and it is a Korean brand. Really, really impressed with those percentages. Now, the two dedicated pigment inhibiting cocktails are going to be Vivatia and Fade Bright. You guys have heard me talk about this a lot. Both of these are major cocktails of several of the over-the-counter pigment inhibiting ingredients that we want to see. We'll go over Vivatia first. Now, I've talked about this a bunch. I really, really like this one, you guys. It has 10 different brightening ingredients. A couple of them are actually like brightening complexes. So this one is one that, like I was talking about, it has so many different versions of brightening that it's able to tackle the problem from different avenues, essentially. So it has 6% tranexamic acid, so that's excellent. That's probably the highest percentage of tranexamic acid I've ever seen in over-the-counter products. It also has kojic acid. I'm gonna look here, you guys. It has niacinamide, so it has that one. It has licorice. Licorice is a natural brightener, but it's also soothing, so it helps with inflammation, and inflammation can just contribute to hyperpigmentation. This one also has like 4 different brightening complexes that contain ingredients that are novel, that are different, that aren't just your arbutin or your TA or your kojic acid. And I'm excited about that because they are along with those studied ingredients. To me, that's the perfect way to give those types of ingredients a shot because they're cocktailed in with the stuff that we already know works. Now, this one also has THD ascorbate, which is a vitamin C derivative. That's a pigment inhibitor also, kind of like arbutin. It blocks tyrosinase, but it's also going to help with the glow, and it helps to provide antioxidant protection to our skin, which is a really great thing, especially in the summertime. Now, I want to reiterate that this is a mousse, and it's really, really important that when you use this, that you don't use a lot because you will probably not like it if you overuse it. You want to barely press it out. That's going to not only give you plenty of product for your face because you turn it into, from a mousse, into kind of like a gel cream. It's right here. That is plenty for my face. Now, two things. Number one, that's plenty for your face, and so you don't need to waste it. I will say that when I first got this, there was a learning curve. I used too much for several days. I had to keep learning how to just depress enough. But once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy to only use so much. It has this light golden hue. So if you use too much, you might feel like it gives you this color. If you don't use too much, it just gives you a little bit of a wash, a very, very sheer wash of a golden tone, which personally I really like. Okay, so that is Vivatia, and that's probably my favorite pigment inhibiting cocktail right now. Fade Bright though is right there. It is such a good product, you guys. I've talked about this for a long time. This one is a different cocktail though. So this has that Arbutin in it, which is fantastic, but this one also has azelaic acid. We've talked about this on this channel before, but that's gonna help with hyperpigmentation, and it's also gonna help with redness. So if you are somebody that has a little bit of redness to your skin, you might want to incorporate some azelaic acid. This has the Kojic acid, and then it has resveratrol and glutathione. Those are antioxidants that can also help with brightening the skin, but they're gonna help with blocking that free radical damage from UV exposure, pollution, stuff like that. So that in turn does help with our hyperpigmentation, but it also helps protect our collagen or elastin and all that good stuff. This is just an excellent option. It is kind of like a gel serum, and you don't need a lot of this one either. You want to use these products morning and night. You always want to have a pigment inhibitor on board. If you are fighting hyperpigmentation and you're trying to brighten up dull skin, it's really, really important that you have some form of a pigment inhibitor on your skin at night and also in the morning. So Fade Bright is definitely my second choice, but very, very close for my dedicated pigment inhibitor that I use. Look into essences. This is a great option, but there are some more affordable options as well. It's just another way to get another douse of those ingredients in your skin so that we are constantly being vigilant with that protection from excess pigment so that the cells that come forward are clear of that, so we reveal a clearer complexion. And again, I can't emphasize enough how I have gone through all of this, and it has taken me years of diligent skincare to keep my skin clear, and I still have a little bit of hyperpigmentation. I still have to really be diligent with my pigment inhibitors and of course SPF. Let me know down below if you use pigment inhibitors, what your favorites are. I'd love to hear from you as well. I will list in the description box some alternatives, and as many as I can find, I will put some down there. Let me know if there are other ingredients that you have found have really worked well for you, because we can all share together in our successes and let each other know what works. It's a really great resource for people to use. I hope that you are having the most wonderful day, and I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.